where we shape the next generation. Place where we discuss issues like relationships, career and business advice, education and religious matters, and much, much more. So sit back, watch, and be informed. Your host is Laban Bethi.
Good evening once again, our audience. We are glad that you've joined us this evening. We are happy to always have you at such a moment as this. We are glad that you always find time to come, to listen, to watch, and even to get equipped. That is the reason why we are happy that these words and this information is getting to you and equipping you even as you progress in your life. So we come to you back once again this day, and we know it is a time that it is going to help us get equipped, to help us get empowered, and to help us know the things that we must be able to do. So thank you so much for coming, or rather getting your time to feel and to listen. Get your notebook as we get started. Get your pen ready, and be ready to note down a few things as we get deeper in our relevant topics today. And it will be a moment of empowerment for you. Also, once again, we are joined together by the people that we've known for some time, as you can see. And as we normally say, it's always a great pleasure to have each and every one of us find the time to come and, with the busy schedules that we always have, and to equip the generation that is outside there. So we are happy that you still found time to come. And you see, I know today we also have new faces who are watching and who are listening. If maybe we can just, say our names as we get to begin, so that that person will be able to know who are these people who are making me get equipped at such a moment as this is. I can begin from my far left. It's my brother.
Yeah. Good morning, viewers. I'm Isaac Kitana, as usual. The name has not changed. Isaac Kitana is my name. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Isaac. It's a great pleasure to have you. Karibu sana, my brother.
Thank you. My name is Martin Donyo. It's a pleasure to be here. And I look forward to a very engaging conversation today.
Wow. Thank you so much, Martin, for finding your time to come. And we are happy that you are here with us. So today we are going to talk about a topic that is not very much new, but it might be also very new to some people. We are going to get, a way different from what you've been speaking about. We'll be able to get deeper in the aspect of career. You see, there is career. In career, there are so many things that encompass the career. As a young person grows from the childhood to the higher level, it's a moment of growing in the career when you go to school and you get to a point whereby you further your studies, and these are my aspirations, and this is the place there where I want to go. So today we are going to get deeper in career choice. That somebody somewhere will be able to get equipped and understand what is career choice and how is it so much influential in my life, how is it so much important, and why I need to put much emphasis, or why I need to put much focus in my career, so that by the end of the day, that is in the long run, this career now can begin to yield unto me. So remain tuned. It is not a long discussion. It is going to take a very short period of time. So just settle down. In a short while, in that around 30 minutes or so, we'll be done. And I believe and I know that it will be a moment for you to get equipped. So back to my panelists today. We are talking today about career choice. It is a subject that is not very much new to us, and I know we've traversed in various fields in life, and we did understand the aspect of career. So there is somebody, who does not even know what is career choice, what is a career growth, what is career development. It's quite a lot, and somebody needs to know vividly what it means by career choice. So as we begin, I want to make this illustration to someone to be able to know what is this, even as we get to kick off with the discussion. So I can begin with my brother Isaac. Yes.
Career, I'll just say it simply means job or occupation in someone's life.
Sure.
So when you talk of career choice, it means choosing the path, the right path towards the right job or the right occupation. Yeah, simply that. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Maybe if Martin, you can dive deeper on the same.
Yes, it is an occupation, and it is an occupation that you train on. So you don't just go in without training, and it is also an occupation that has the opportunities to grow.
Yes.
Opportunities for progress. So an occupation that you train on that has opportunities for you to grow or progress, and also an occupation that you practice for a significant period of time. You can't do something for 6 months and say that is your career. It has to be something that you have done for a significant period of time, maybe 10 years plus. That now can tell us that is your career. Yes.
Wow, thank you so much, Martin. As you've just illustrated, you cannot be able to do something for 6 months and say that you're in the right career. And somebody can even do this thing for quite a long period of time, and maybe I'm not in my right career, or I'm not doing the right thing that I have passion in. So how will this person be able to know that I'm truly in my right career choice as I progress? Maybe we can kick off with you.
Now, well, for some people, sometimes it takes much longer for you to actually discover whether you're on the right career path or not. But with the correct guidance and with somebody fully understanding themselves at an early stage in life, it is very easy for you to make the right career choice. And there are several things, and maybe for the purposes of this show, I'll only maybe look at 3.
Yes.
And for me, I think the most important one, you have to look at your priorities. What is most important for you in life?
Yes.
How important is it? How much would you really want to achieve what you want to achieve as a number one priority in your life? That is a very important thing. And again, you also have to ask yourself, when you are looking at a career choice, what are you good at? What is your strength? What would you say that you can do better than anyone else? Of course, it might not be very factual, but what is that thing that you can do so well that it would be difficult for somebody else to beat you at it? It is very easy for you to shine and stand out in the crowd when you do that thing. So I think that's also another important thing that can guide you. Your areas of strength. Maybe it's talent, maybe it's skills that you have mastered, you know. And lastly, it's an issue of values. What do you believe in? What do you believe is the right thing, or is the best choice for your life and for those that matter around you? So those three things are very key, in my opinion, when somebody is making a career choice.
Wow, thank you so much. If maybe Isaac can just give a a brief highlight on the same.
For me, I'll add on what he said. It's a word he used. He said discover.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think whether we should have a career choice. It should be a career discovery. And I'll use an example in the Bible. If you can allow me, I can just read a scripture I like most. That is Genesis chapter, this is our reference today, Genesis chapter 1 verse 11. It says, then God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth. And it was so. The text, the emphasized text, it says it's the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in it itself. For me, I believe everybody is born with a purpose inside. That is a seed. That's the Bible is talking about. Though the Bible was talking about the herb and the grass, but it is so even to us as human beings, that the seed of greatness, the seed is inside you. I will use another example. I'll not read. There is this guy called, let me use Jesus. The job description of Jesus was given by the angel when he visited Mary before his birth. So there is no way Jesus would have gone another way or getting to a point of choosing who to become. He was already something before his birth. It was already prophesied that he will become so and so. So it will not get like I've gotten to 20 years or 30 years, now I want to choose who to become. No, it is already within you, so you have to discover it. We have in the book of Judges chapter 13, it talks about Samson. Also, job description of Samson was also prophesied before his birth. So I believe everybody has something that God has put inside you. So it's a matter of being able to discover and then pursue it. So it should be discovery, then growth. So if you discover who you are, there is the system that they've introduced in school today, the CBC thing, that you are able to identify talents and skills and the strength of the children as an very early stage, and you begin to nurture that. You see, when you talk of choice, it means what you're doing today, probably at 10 years, and what you'll be doing 20 years are totally different things. Because what I'm doing today, I'm getting to a point now, I'm choosing what to become or what I want to do. So for me, it's a matter of being able to discover what is inside you, because we are able different, we have different strength, different skills, different abilities. So it's from discovery now, then we begin to nurture or grow.
And you see now that as scripture says, that the seed has life in itself. And again, scripture says that we were predestined before the foundations of the earth were set. So it's a matter of discovery. It's not something that is going to be done. It is a matter of you as an individual asking yourself, for example, what is it that I do and I feel fulfilled, I feel satisfied? What is it that actually somebody, when we were in school, when we were being guided on career, told us that what is that one thing that you can do, and even if you are not paid for it, you still will do it gladly. That's a very key thing for you to be guided, that this is the direction I should go. That thing that gives you satisfaction even without monetary reward. That is a good pointer as to the direction that is already within you. You know? Yeah. So if you can grow it, if you can build it, it is now very easy for you to settle in that as a career path. For example, if you look at even when we were in school, there used to be so many clubs. And if you realize, I know of people that started out in Red Cross. Today they work in Red Cross and they are very senior. So it's something they discovered, that I like helping people. I feel satisfied. And back then, nobody was paying them. If you know how Red Cross works, it's mainly voluntary. Up to maybe a certain point where now that you get an opportunity to work in the organization. And they were doing it gladly. So that is a pointer, that I do these things so easily and I get a lot of satisfaction, even if I'm not paid. So this could be a good career choice for me.
And before we get away from that part of the choice, I would say career choice is an error that you have in the society. Because as you just said, it's a matter of discovery. And you can attest to this. The time that came for you, like you wanted to choose a career, you had several things that you wanted to do. I want to become a lawyer, I want to become a teacher, I want to become a banker. Like you don't know, you are confused. Because you have not been able to discover.
Sure.
And many times because we are, it is an error, we are doing, I say there is a difference between what you are today as a teenager or youth and what you want to become tomorrow. So in that, it puts us in a place where the young people are confused, especially when it comes to that time now. That is what the society is giving us, because it's saying now it's time for you to choose career. I think that is an error in the society that we have, and we need to correct. I know this choice, we are addressing, most of the people we are addressing are youth. Tomorrow you are going to become a parent, and I feel it's something that we need to discover even in our children as early as possible. That we will not get to a point where they are telling now, you can choose what you want to become in life. So I think we found ourselves where we are because probably the system in the education or even our parents didn't know what we wanted to become. The only thing they would ask you, what do you want to become when you grow up? A teacher. Are they training you to become a teacher? They're just happy that you become, I want to become a footballer. And they are taking you throughout the school for 8 years, 4 years. Are you training? Is there any training towards what you want to become? So I think now probably we'll handle that when the time, the growth and nurturing of that career. But I feel it's an error that we're having in the system.
And you see, the reality on the ground is that sometimes the path is not straight. And I know it's different experiences for different people, but sometimes there's what you are calling the trial and error. Simply because, unfortunately, as our society is made, we are not nurtured from a young age to pursue specific things. I'll give two contrasting examples. There's the famous musician, American musician, Don Moen. He was once given a story of their family, and he said that the mother insisted that all her children must play the keyboard, and they hated it. Actually, it was a punishment for them. And today, he earns a living. He has made a name simply because of that keyboard, of course with singing. And he says, Now that he has his own children, the same words that were used on him are the same ones that he uses on the children. Because the mother used to tell them, if you eat my food, you dress in clothes that I have bought, you live in my house, you must play this thing. And those are the same words he has used. And you see now, maybe in that society, the society is conscious on guiding children to a certain career path very early in life, so that as they grow, they perfect that skill. Because again, it is one thing to have a talent, it is one thing to make that talent a perfect skill that you can trade in. Now, looking at my own example, my own life as an example, when we were in high school and we were supposed to choose university, I don't know if it's still the same, but education comes number 4. You know, so you choose everything else. If it's medicine number 1, law number 2, you know, BCom number 3. Then when you have nowhere to go and you've qualified for university, education is there for you, and a bunch of other courses, environmental something, science is there. And for me, I wanted to become a lawyer, because I was very noisy in class and everybody thought this one can make a good lawyer. But I think my parents, especially my dad, had a different opinion. He wanted me to take accounts, maybe to manage his little resources. So when I finished, I did not qualify for the law. I also did not, I could not qualify for direct entry for the BCom, which was second option. So when time came to go to university, it was option number 4 that was available, education. But along the way, I had tried some CPAs. And then I discovered I was not created for that, you know. And that's why I'm saying it is not a straight path. And even after I did my 4 years at university doing a degree in education, I never wanted to pursue that thing. Simply because, for very good reasons, I had seen people that had not succeeded so much. The pay was not, you know, teachers were always on the streets asking for more money. So I didn't want to go that way. I wanted something that would make me rich quickly. But I think 3 or 4 years down the line after graduation, I became very restless in the private sector. Very restless. And I left a job when my boss thought that I should actually be promoted. And she had a very big issue with me. Why are you leaving? We actually have an opportunity for you in the next coming months that is better than where you are. But I was not at peace completely. And so I took a break, 8 months. By the time they were over, I don't know, I think I went to teach because I also didn't want a lot of questions from my parents then. But 7 years down the line, I realized I was actually made for this path. You know, as an educator, as somebody that simply passes knowledge, passes skill. So, and regardless, so long as it is something that passes knowledge to another, I fit easily. I can sleep and wake up and start, you know, doing it. And so slowly I discovered actually my path is education. It might take different forms, but that is it. Empowering people, sharing knowledge, sharing skills. And so career paths can be diverse. It is not necessarily a straight line.
So maybe if I can just cut you short, Martin. There's somebody who wants to understand, maybe with the illustration that you've just made, somebody needs to know whether am I really in my right career choice?
Yes.
And if yes, how can I truly know? If it is a no, then how will I be able to know that I'm really in the right direction? And maybe as you still further the same, as you explain, you can help somebody who is just watching and try to understand.
Now, I'll start by saying this. The biggest mistake we make at times when you're making career choices is we look for the pay. And I made that mistake also. How much is it going to pay me? And how long is it going to take me maybe to achieve my goals? To have a house, to have a car, to have a good life. But the truth is, yes, I am not downplaying the place of remuneration and money. It is very important.
Yeah.
But the truth is, even deeper than remuneration, there is the aspect of fulfillment. And at the end of it all, like the scripture that Isaac read, the life of the seed is in that seed. That life there will keep you unsettled.
Yes.
Will keep you asking yourself, am I really doing the right thing? It will deny you peace. It might take a long time, and sometimes most people will downplay it, really don't want to, like how we usually say, that is the voice of the devil. How am I going to leave a very good job to pursue something, And I think this one's even happens especially for people that pursue full-time ministry. It is the biggest task for anyone. How do I live a sure, secure job and income and pursue something that, like Abraham, I will show you the land, which you're not even sure of. So I think the biggest test starts with you. Are you satisfied? Are you at peace? Are you fulfilled? If the answer to those questions is yes, you're most probably on the right path. If you have a problem with those questions and the answer is no or maybe, maybe you need to do more soul searching to get to know, am I really on the right path? And the earlier you do it, the better. And for those that are spiritual, one way of getting that answer is through prayer. Okay? If you are not, may God's grace be abound so that you can, because the most unfortunate thing is getting somebody well advanced in their age, almost retirement, and then they discover, I have been in the wrong path all along. I think it's the biggest misfortune that can befall anyone. Yes. So the earlier you can ask yourself those questions and get the right answers, the better.
So on the same, now assuming that I made a very wrong choice before, maybe I was influenced by my parents, I was influenced by my peers, or maybe I just made the decision by myself.
You are influenced by money.
Absolutely.
This one will pay me better.
So now, after now, I can't realize, no, this was not the right direction for me to go. Years might have gone, and I think I can restructure myself, and I can still begin again. Now, what should somebody who did the same be able to do now after he or she has known I did a very huge mistake initially, but I still feel I can still pursue this thing? How, maybe Isaac, can this person be able now to get back, and is it possible to still begin, or this person needs to just continue and assume that things will still fall into place in the long run?
As you said, the first and the most important thing in that path, the career path, should be the inner drive, the satisfaction that comes from within. The motivation should not be first from outside. Yes, the motivation, as you said, money, it's a factor. Probably parents or the relatives or friends could have some influence. But that should come second. Do you enjoy what you're doing? Do you enjoy what you're becoming? So in case you find yourself in such, like you chose a wrong path, I always say there is hope. Because besides getting money, there is that self. Today, I think I will dwell so much on reference from the Bible. There is this man in the book of Luke chapter 12. The Bible refers him to the rich fool. He got everything that he wanted, he harvested in plenty, and he said, now, he just opened more stores to store his food and say, now my soul, you can rest. And the Bible asks, if you are satisfied, how about if I take away your life today? So it's not about getting money. It might be the age has advanced, but there is that which gives satisfaction. There is that which you are created to do. It may be few years, but Jesus was here for 33 years. But for 30 years, he was in training. He only worked for 3 years.
Yes.
3.5 years. So I believe in this period that he was here, the period might have advanced, doing other things.
Yes.
And sometimes you are not where you wanted to be. But in the few days that you discover who you are or what you are supposed to become, I think that's the time you need to pursue it. Yeah.
And I don't know, now that you mentioned Jesus, I don't know, was the 30 years, were they in the wrong career path? Or
No, it was no, it was a time of training. Now I'm just using that to say probably the time has gone when you're discovering the time that you did what you did. It was shorter than the time you lived here on earth and doing other things.
And you see, even borrowing on that, the 30 years were not wasted.
They were not wasted, yeah.
They were very much important.
I know of a certain preacher who used to work at the refinery. I think you also know him. And he worked there for a very long time. And he struggled with the call for full-time ministry. Very much. Until one day, I think God just decided to communicate clearly. And you know those big tanks at the refinery. So for petrol, there was super and regular. So the difference was in color. And so he went and pumped in color in the wrong tank. And a colleague there told him off and told him, you know what, you have been called for full-time ministry and you're busy wasting your time here. Later on, he confesses and says that the time he spent at the refinery gave him skills that he could not have acquired anywhere else.
Very true.
And they became very relevant. They actually are relevant to date.
Very true.
So being on the wrong career path is not a death sentence by itself. I always believe that at the end of it, God is the master of all things.
Sure.
But still also maybe Martin on the same, can we still say that that one can be illustrated like the trial and error in the career?
It is. And you know, by the way, it is only that when you are going through the trial and error, the rest of us might look at you as wasting time. But the truth is, even through the trial and error, you are gaining skill. You are growing in a way.
So that means I should be able to gauge what am I benefiting from this moment of my trial and error.
I think the most important thing, in my opinion, would be, if possible, reduce the instances of trial and error, reduce the time you spend on the wrong path to the best of your ability. Sometimes it is just divine so that you can meet people in those what you'd call wrong career paths who would again help you when it comes to time for you to manifest. I was listening to George Washiori, the CEO and founder of Optiven, which is now 22 years. And he said he had been employed, I think severally, and then along the way he was laid off, and he took a long time soul searching, and he really hustled. He got it rough, you know. But he said in that time when he was at the downest is when he founded, and actually he said that he has founded, I think, was it 200 businesses that failed before Optiven. Now, all these 200 businesses were not necessarily mistakes. You know, like we are told of Thomas Edison, who says that he discovered the light bulb at the 1,000th attempt. And he said, every other attempt I made, I knew how not to do it. So they are not necessarily mistakes.
Sure.
They are learning points.
Yeah.
But you have to be intentional and make them learning points. Otherwise, some people allow those wrong career paths to weigh them down. And then you lose the benefits of each of those stages of your life.
So maybe, can we say that during this trial and error time, like Isaac earlier said, is it like a moment of discovery?
It is.
And so it means that once I discover myself now, I get now to my
Actually,
right path.
it is completely, because even the people that discover things do a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
We only call it a discovery when at the end.
Yeah.
Once you've already gone to
behind what we are seeing
Yeah.
is a lot of trial and error. So, and that's why I said some of us are privileged to have a straight path.
Yeah.
And thank God if yours is straight. But I believe a majority of us is trial and error. You know? And eventually you get to discover.
Yeah.
Now, when you discover, each of those wrong steps should be a lesson. And you get the best out of those lessons, so that when the discovery is done, you can now, you look so perfect. And people are like, hey, we never knew that this guy is this good. If only they knew. You know? Yeah.
Wow. It has been an interesting discussion, an interesting engagement, and an interesting conversation. And we are glad, as I said, it's a very short moment. But I believe if you've taken your time from your schedules, it has now in a way expanded your mind. It has in a way empowered you. And we really desire you to get in the right career choice. There is a moment you will get to self-discovery. There's a moment you get to a moment of getting to a trial and error. But it's very much important to realize that this is the way that I should go, so that you can know the necessary energy that you should be able to apply. So we are happy that you found time to join us at such a moment, and we pray and we wish that you're going to align yourself in the right choice of your career, that by the end of the day it is going to yield much unto you. So we are coming to the closure of this session, and just in few words I will just request my panelists to speak just a short word, as we get to, time is far much spent. We don't want to take much time. If we can just say a word to that listener who has been listening and needs to, to get to move out from this moment of trial and error. I've toiled much and I've not been able to yield anything from the choices I've made for my career. Just a few words for this person. Please, Martin.
Always remember that the most important thing is about fulfillment.
Yeah, sure.
Like Isaac said, money is secondary, yet still important.
Yeah.
But at the end of it all, am I at peace? Am I fulfilled? Am I happy about what I'm doing and the results that I'm achieving? And then the other important thing is ask yourself, am I willing to make difficult choices? Because sometimes getting yourself on the right career path is not the most attractive thing until you make it.
Yeah.
If you ask people that have been in business, they never made it on their first attempt. Like I've shared even the George Washiori instance, and of course you can search it up on the internet. So sometimes we don't want to make those hard choices that put us on our right career path. I only pray that you find the courage to make those bold steps and make those very difficult choices, so that once you discover that this is your career path, even though it might not start off as something that is really rewarding and paying back monetary wise, pursue it, stick to it, and make sure that you're committed to see the very prosperous end of it. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Martin. Maybe Isaac?
Yeah, I'll begin by a statement that I just made, that it is an era where we have a society where I will discover what I want to become at 30 or 40 or 50. I'm just contemplating, do I become a doctor, a teacher, a nurse, or whichever? It is an era. So it's my wish and my prayer that you'd realize who you are at a very early stage.
Yeah.
But fortunately or unfortunately, you find yourself getting to 18, 20, and I still don't know what to do. We'll still go back to that, whatever the statement he made, that is it bringing inner satisfaction first? And that inner satisfaction comes from the purpose that you are created for, because God will always, the thing that he has put inside you will always put the joy even in serving or doing that thing. Whether there is that motivation from outside, money and parents or not. So there is that inner drive, inner satisfaction. And again, probably you find yourself, as we say, try and error, you find yourself in a wrong path. I don't believe it's really entirely wrong. As we said, there is something good you should learn from it. So try extract a lesson from it. That will help you become probably a manager tomorrow in your own company or in another, because I believe wherever God places you, he places you to extract something. Every human being or every living thing has a system, two systems, that is to give and to receive. That is how it operates. So wherever you find yourself, whether it's where you call it a wrong path or right path, there is something you should release in that place, and there is something that you should receive from that place. So wherever you find yourself, make sure that you extract something that will help you to become who you are supposed to become.
Wow. Thank you so much for the great insights. So I think you've gotten something from this entire discussion. And our prayer, as I said earlier, and our hope is to see you at the top. So we always have these discussions every Monday in the evening, and just down on your screen you can see numbers that are just drop it down. So our request is maybe you have questions and maybe you would want to hear us more and more. The numbers that you can see on your screen, you can be able to call the number. You can even text or maybe WhatsApp the number, and we're going to be there at your service to offer the necessary mentorship that you want, and to give you the support. Maybe it is an institution that wants to get much of this. We are there at your service, and we are going to deliver as per the expectation until we give much growth to your people. So we are glad you've been listening, you've been watching, and we are happy that you always take your moment to get with us in these moments of our discussions. So thank you so much. Have a great time as you continue aspiring and getting higher in the moments of your career. God bless you. See you next week on Monday. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
It's a great honor. It's a great privilege for coming.
Asante sana.
Yeah. Bone sana. Ile sauti.
You see a person doing or behaving a certain way, it is out of information. You dress like you think. You talk like you think. Out of what is inside here, the fullness within here, that's what the mouth speaks. So what you have in your head, you behave like that.
What do you understand by social media?
Yeah, social media, it's a platform. It's a connecting platform.
All right.
Just as the word goes, social media. It's a platform for mostly socializing. It's a media of exchanging information.
To be inspired, be ready to be transformed, be ready to get something great, something that is going to change you. Be ready to receive a word for you.